The Man in the Red Bandana by Crowther Fagan, illustrated by John Crowther. The Man in the Red Bandana. When he was only 7 years old, Wallace was given a bandana by his father. It was a special gift that made Wallace feel strong. Wallace's dad always carried a blue bandana, and Wallace's new bandana was just like it, only red. From the moment Wallace received the bandana, he carried it everywhere. It had lots of uses: a cowboy mask, a pirate hat, and a flag to signal the end of the race. As Wallace grew up, he stopped using his red bandana as a toy and started to use it underneath his helmets. You see, Wallace was an athlete whose favorite sports were ice hockey and lacrosse. He wore the bandana underneath his helmet to keep the sweat out of his eyes. Wallace not only wore a helmet when he played sports, he also wore a helmet as a volunteer firefighter. At the age of 16, Wallace again followed in his father's example and became a volunteer fireman. He trained with real fire extinguishers and was taught that rescuing people who were trapped inside were his first priority. He also learned how to get to safety through a burning building and put out fires. It was this training in the red bandana that helped Wallace become a hero. After college, Wallace went to work on the 104th floor on the World Trade Center in New York City. Wallace loved working up so high. He often called his father on rainy days to ask, "Is it raining where you are?" When his father replied it was, Wallace would say, "Well, it's sunny up here." But on Tuesday morning, September 11th, 2001, it was not a rainy day. The sun was bright and there was no clouds in the blue sky. As Wallace sat in his office, he heard an explosion nearby that rattled his desk in his chair. When he looked out the window to see the World Trade Center Tower 1 building, he could see fire spewing out of the floors right across from him. Wallace wanted to help with the tragic situation unfolding in the next tower. Just minutes after the explosion in Tower 1, Wallace left his office. To get down to the lobby from the 78th floor, you had to first take an elevator to the 78th floor sky lobby. From there, you took a non-stop elevator to the ground floor. Many people would be waiting in the sky lobby for their elevator. Wallace knew it would take too long to wait for the elevator from the 104th floor to the sky lobby and then one to the ground, so he headed down the stairs. In a few minutes, Wallace had made it all the way down near the 78th floor. That's when another explosion occurred, only this one was much louder and much stronger than the last. Wallace ran right through the door of the sky lobby, but could tell by the smoke coming into the stairwell that there was fires burning inside. Wallace took out his red bandana and tied it around his nose and mouth so that he did not breathe in smoke. Wallace entered the sky lobby. It was hard to see through all the smoke. There was badly injured people who needed his help to get to safety. He found a fire extinguisher, put out the flames that continued to endanger the survivors. Wallace immediately took charge and called out to anyone who might be able to hear him. "I found the stairs. If you can get up and walk, get up now. If you're able to help someone else, help them. Follow me, I know the way." Many people were dazed, but one woman was in such a state of shock that she could not walk. Wallace wanted to help as many survivors as possible. He picked up the shocked woman and leading a group of 3 others, carried her down the stairs. Wallace saw the air start to clear as they made it down the stairwell, so he pulled his bandana from his face when they made it to the 61st floor. The lights were on, and Wallace thought it was safe to send the people on their own. Wallace told the group to continue down the stairs and head out the building. He turned around and headed back up the stairs. Wallace collected another group of survivors and ushered them to the stairs. Again, he led them down to the clean air on the 61st floor and told them to continue on to safety. Once again, Wallace went back up the stairs. During his third trip to the sky lobby, Wallace found that there were many people who were alive but trapped underneath heavy pieces of metal. He knew that in order to save them, he would need a firefighter's tool called Jaws of Life. Wallace followed the stairs down to the lobby for his third and final trip. He found the command center where firefighters and police officers were planning the rescue effort. Wallace let them know that they would need the jaws of life up in the sky lobby. But Wallace would not make it back up there. The damage to both buildings was too severe, and they'd soon collapsed. No one knew what happened to Wallace until his mother read a newspaper article months later. In the article, survivors recalled being saved by a man in a red bandana. She said to herself, "There you are, Wallace. I have finally found you." Wallace was recognized through pictures by two women whom he had led to safety. They will never forget the bravery and the strength that Wallace showed on that day. They will never forget the man who saved their lives. They will never forget the man in the red bandana.